Hi and welcome back to BookTube with Amy. It is very early morning here. It is just 5:20 in the morning, but I am starting my birthday vlog because this morning we fly to London for 5 days to celebrate me turning 30, and I thought that I would vlog it since it's quite a substantial birthday and we're actually doing something interesting for once. So I don't actually know what we're doing every single day. Simon has planned it and it's a whole big surprise, and every day I get a wee pack to tell me what it is that we're doing that day. So today I know that we are travelling to London, and then this evening that we are going to go see Wicked, which I am so buzzing about. So I'll take you guys along and I'll show you everything that we're up to on a day-to-day basis. So we have arrived and we are going to go see Wicked later on, like I had said, so we're just going to get ready just now. But I'm reading Turning 30 by Mike Gale because Simon read it when he turned 30 and he quite enjoyed it, and so it's obviously quite apt that I'm going to be turning 30 this week. So I'm about 106 pages in so far and I am not really too sure how I'm feeling about it. Our main character's a wee bit of an idiot. Stop watching me. It's very nerve-wracking.
That's the whole point of the video, is it not?
I know, but I don't need you watching me. Jesus. So Matt's our main character, and he feels like because he's turning 30 that there should be some sort of a profound meaning to his life, and that he should have achieved everything that he wanted to have achieved. Married, own a house, have a really good career, potentially kids, pets, etc. And he has recently just broken up with his girlfriend, and although his career is progressing, he's just got a promotion and he's moving to Australia. The promotion isn't going to take effect for 3 months, so he has moved back to the UK after splitting up with his girlfriend in America to live with his mum and dad for 3 months before he goes off to Australia and has his new adventure for turning 30. But he's struggling a wee bit with just that his life isn't where he thought it would have been, and we haven't met all his old school pals at the minute, but I believe the way that the plot's progressing that we're going to. I just feel like Matt's a wee bit of a douche, so I am not really enjoying his character and reading from his perspective. I am not sure if we're meant to be rooting for him or no. Simon seems to think like you're not, and I seem to think like you are. I think that it's written quite sympathetically, and I'm just not really gelling with him as a character, so I'm not hugely enjoying it so far. But that being said, like, the writing style is really good. I feel like I know the character well enough to not like him, which is obviously something, and it's quite a quick easy read, so I don't think it'll take me too long to get through it. So that's good. Maybe I would read another book by Mike Gale if I didn't even like the plot too much of this one or just that one particular character, but if I like his writing style and there's another book that I think sounds decent, then I might give that one a go. Obviously we went book shopping a wee bit this afternoon. We were just out getting some supplies for the hotel room and stuff for over the next couple of days, and getting some toiletries and stuff that we didn't bring from home, and we stumbled across a couple of charity bookshops, and so we went in for a nosy. So we actually managed to get Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I didn't realise this in the shop, but Simon showed me it's an ARC, which is really cool, and it's got these gorgeous black sprayed edges, and I've been excited to read this basically before it came out. And I know, as per usual, I'm late to the party because literally every single person I know has already read this, but I'm still excited about it. And then I got Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. Again, loads and loads of hype surrounding this book, and it has been one that I've been swithering on for a wee while because I feel like I buy a lot of sci-fi, but I don't really read a hell of a lot of sci-fi. So I'm not too sure if this is a book that would just languish on my shelves, but it was a nice copy and it was in a charity shop, so I thought I'd take a punt. Then I got Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. Now, I've never read any of their poetry before. This has been on my wish list for a wee while though. I used to sort of feel like your like Tumblr, social media posty poetry back in the day. I really like David Jones, who is a UK poet who does sort of a similar poetry, but I read a collection not too long ago and I just really wasn't a fan of it, and I feel like I prefer poems a wee bit long-winded in my dotage, and so I am not too sure if I'm going to enjoy this quite as much as I would have when I added it to my wish list years and years ago. But again, it's been on my wish list for a wee while, and it was in a charity shop. I thought I would give it a chance and see how I feel about it now. I know that loads of people absolutely love this book, so I guess we'll just wait and see. And then lastly, I got Stormcaller by Tom Lloyd. This is the first in a series, obviously, and it just looks like a fantasy, basically. There's a battle, there's different races, etc. Your main character is one of these different races, and there seems to be a legend surrounding him. Pretty standard. I'm sure it will be tropey as all hell, but an absolutely fun time. So we are just gonna get ready, like I say, for Wicked later on, and I'm sure I'll get some pictures and stuff of that for you guys as well, and if not, I will catch up with you tomorrow. So we are heading off to Wicked. This is impossible to get me and you in the same shot, like, because of how tall you are, and I've got heels on, like, this is a joke. We are being proper full-on geeks, and I've got like a big green dress, and Simon's got on a nice green suit, and we're just going to be very geeky about it, even though Simon doesn't care. So we're just back in for Wicked, and it was absolutely amazing. I had saw it before, but I was really young at the time. I went on a school trip, that's how long ago it was, and Simon had never seen it before, so it was his first time, and oh my god, it was absolutely fantastic, so much better than I remember. And like, seeing Simon's reactions as well was also brilliant, because he didn't know all the wee twists and the reveals, and I love how many wee Easter eggs there is throughout it for Wizard of Oz, because I absolutely adore Wizard of Oz. It was just amazing. Everything about it was fantastic. Near enough everybody has seen this at this point, but if you haven't, would definitely recommend going to see it, because it was just fantastic. Hello, so it is the next again morning, and Simon has given me my Friday pack so that I know what it is that we're up to. But first of all, like, can we just appreciate the horrific pictures that he's put on every single one of the packs? This is actually for one of my very first wrap-ups, this shot, so it is on the internet to be seen. He interrupted my filming and asked where something was, and I very sarkily said it was on the table, and he went, "What table?" And I went, "The table!" And that was that face. So that's on the internet forever, and he will forever remind me of that. So today we are starting off with a private chocolate tour of London, which is really cool. So we're going to get to go around some different chocolate shops and get to try loads and loads of chocolate, which is going to be excellent and very me. And then we're going to go to the shop where Black Books, the outside of Black Books, was filmed, which I'm very excited about. I love Black Books. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's a wee Channel 4 comedy. They only did like a wee limited run, I think it was like early 90s maybe, unsure, but Bill Bailey's in it, Dylan Moran's in it, and it's absolutely hysterical. I think it's the best thing ever. I feel like Simon is just Bernard, basically. I don't know if that makes me Manny, but I feel like I am there. But we're going to go see that, because when we knew that we were coming to London, I had said to Simon that I would quite like to go see that, and like any excuse to go buy a book, and Simon has ordered me a present to pick up there, which I will show you later on when we get back today. And then this evening we are going to drag bingo, which will be very entertaining and funny to also see Simon's reactions. I've never played bingo in my life, but he very cheekily booked it because I'm getting old and he feels like I should just accept the old lady vibes. So I'm wearing a wee old lady cardigan, and it's going to be a great day. No doubt I'll get some footage and stuff as walking around doing the chocolate tour, and I'll catch up with you later on. I haven't read any more for yesterday, but I am also reading Restore Me by Taheri Mafi. So I'm doing that on audio as well as reading Turning 30 physically, and I am only a few chapters in, to be honest. I'm maybe only about 8 or 9 chapters in, and it's not too bad. Like, I don't have any real feelings about it at this stage. Shatter Me has been a bit of a roller coaster series for me, because the first 2 were absolute garbage and then the third one was a 5-star. So I don't know how this one is going to play out, but this is definitely going to be the decider for me on whether or not I continue the series. So I'll catch up with you later on today. chocolate tour. So we have completed our chocolate tour. You can see Simon's feet in the mirror. And we are both very, very full of chocolate, but it was absolutely brilliant. It was like a walking tour, so we got to go around different chocolate shops and sample obviously their lovely chocolates and get the opportunity to buy, as well as just getting a wee bit of history about like the surrounding areas. So that was really, really cool, and you'll have obviously seen some footage of that. And our tour guide Louise was absolutely brilliant. She got to know us a wee bit obviously and found that we were both big bookworms, and so she was telling us sort of like booky lookouts and different shops and stuff that we could go to, and talking to us about books and that, as well as the chocolate. It was absolutely fantastic. The tour company that we used was Chocolate Ecstasy Tours, so if anybody is in London and you are into chocolate as much as me, I would highly recommend. It was fantastic.
Or
and
Chelsea.
So or Chelsea, yes, or Chelsea. They also do one in Chelsea. We went to the one in London. So I'm doing a chocolate haul because we obviously were going to quite a few different chocolate shops, and so we had the opportunity to buy some bits and bobs, and so we bought some bits and bobs. So the first stop that we were at was Hotel Chocolat. I really like Hotel Chocolat's products anyway. I have a velvetizer, as you guys know, and so we got some chocolates from there. And we got the patisserie selection to try. Simon got raspberry panna cotta, and I got rose and violets because I know I'm turning 30, but like I'm actually 80 on the inside. I like all the granny flavours, and so they are my absolute favourites. I really love them, so that was very cool. And then the next place we went to was William Curley, and they are quite a posh patisserie. They've won like Chocolatier of the Year about 5 times in a row or something, and very unique and interesting flavours. So we got some chocolates for there, but we haven't actually tried them yet, so we have them here to eat later on in the hotel. I got like a chocolate and miso flavour, and then like a sea salt caramel, and Simon got a yuzu flavour, so really excited to try those. They're meant to be brilliant. We did get hot chocolate from that cafe, and oh, it was so amazing. One of the best hot chocolates I've ever had. It was so delicious and so creamy. I got the hazelnut flavour and Simon got the original dark, and it was gorgeous. And then we also got Simon's dad a wee present while we were in William Curley as well, and the packaging is just absolutely gorgeous. And then we had a wee detour to Fortnum and Mason, and we didn't try any of their chocolates in there, but we were going around and we were having a wee look at the tea, and the wee tour guide bought me black tea with peach because I smelled it and I thought it would be really, really lovely iced, and so she purchased this for me as a wee birthday gift because she knew it was booked for my birthday, which was really kind and really thoughtful of her as well. And then last up, we were at Charbonnel and Walker, and we got some gifts for the family for here, as well as some stuff for myself. So I got these gin truffles, because obviously I love a gin, and these were actually lovely. I find that with some liqueur chocolates, like the alcohol can be quite overpowering, and I don't really enjoy that. Like I want to have a sweetie, no take a shot. Very different vibes, and these were lovely. I felt like you got all the flavour and sort of like herbally, fruity flavours of the gin without the alcohol being overpowering. I tried these in the shop and they were absolutely delicious, so Simon bought me a box of these to take home for while I'm editing this video, which was very kind. And then we got some gifts for the family as well. So I got my sister some Bucks Fizz truffles, and then my mum and dad some salted caramel milk chocolate bars to try as well. But it was absolutely delicious, and the tour was so fun. I have no book updates because I have literally read nothing today, but we are heading out to the London Eye just now, and then we have a meal in Drag Bingo later on this evening. I will get some footage of the London Eye, but probably no Drag Bingo. Hi, so we are just back for Drag Bingo, and it was absolutely cracking. We did the London Eye this evening as well, which was really, really lovely, and I've got some footage of that. And then we did drag bingo, and that was at Proud Cabaret, and that was honestly so fun. Didn't have a clue what to expect. I've never been to anything like that before, and Simon really only booked it to be a bit cheeky about the bingo because I'm getting old, and obviously he knows I really like drag. I'm a big fan of RuPaul and Dragula, etc. And with everything that's going on in the world at the minute, we're making it really difficult and in some places illegal to do drag. He decided to try and do something drag themed for my birthday celebrations just to show our support a wee bit, which was really brilliant and seriously thoughtful. Your feet have been in it, it's alright, you didn't need to move. We had the host Misdemeanor, and she was so funny. Loads of amazing tunes, pop, 80s, 90s, etc. Absolute bangers. And that was essentially the bingo instead of it being numbers. We had amazing food as well, which was like really surprising. It was quite surreal to be doing like the Macarena 1 minute and then beating creme brulee the next. But it was a really brilliant night and we had so much fun. Simon actually won the bingo. He was telling me beforehand about how competitive he gets. So the fact that he won it I thought was really, really funny. So he won a bottle of Prosecco, but I'm not a Prosecco kind of gal, he doesn't really drink, so we gave that away and we're now back at the hotel. And Simon has gave me what he calls a birthday adjacent item because they technically are no presents even though they really are just birthday presents. And he got me This Winter by Alice Oseman, but he's actually got me the entire Alice Oseman collection, which I'm really, really buzzing to read and could potentially just binge read them all shortly, to be honest. Doesn't really count as a new series, does it, if it's in the Heartstopper world, so I can technically get away with them as part of my I seriously need to finish that challenge. Anyway, I will chat to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. So I've just received my pack for today to find out what we are doing. So we had planned to go a wee bit book shopping this morning, but we're not going to be able to fit that in, so we're going to go book shopping on my actual birthday, and Simon has given me a £20 gift certificate for our favourite wee independent bookshop that we found in London, Belgravia Books. So going to go there and spend some money as always, which is really, really exciting. And then he's also booked for us to go for a tour of Shakespeare's Globe, as well as seeing A Comedy of Errors there this afternoon, which is just amazing because he's all know how absolutely geeky I am about Shakespeare, and obviously Simon really enjoys Shakespeare as well, so I think that's going to be a cracking time. And it's really funny because we read Jude the Obscure recently for our book 101, and Simon was like, oh, maybe we should read A Comedy of Errors, and I was like, do you think? And he was like, well, they could be quite similar, and I was like, I really didn't think so, and so we never did. And he was obviously like preempting the fact that he had booked this and I just didn't click on. But I'm sure it'll be absolutely amazing and I'm so, so excited. And then later on this evening we are going on to the Thames and we're having a wee dinner and comedy show on the Thames, which is going to be really cool. We try to go to comedy gigs as often as we can. We support the Stand in Glasgow quite a bit and the Glee Club as well, so it'll be really exciting to support some local comedy somewhere else. And then he also got me another birthday adjacent item this morning, aka a present, because it is. And he got me this absolutely stunning Folio Society edition of Misery, and it is just gorgeous. If anybody has been around for any length of time, you'll know that this is one of my favourite books of all time. Oh, it's illustrated on the inside. It's just absolutely stunning. Look at that. Oh, and he looks as a legend. So I will probably put in some footage of whatever it is that we're getting up to today with him when I can. we are back in the room very, very briefly for a quick drink and to drop off stuff from this morning. So we had the tour of the globe this morning, absolutely amazing. Really informative. The tour guide was brilliant, really friendly. It was quite a big group of people that we had, and it was just really cool getting to see the place and find out some of the history about it. The tour was definitely more about the actual globe and the building of it and the history of that than it was about Shakespeare, but it was still really, really cool and really enhanced my experience, I think, of the play. So because the tour guide was talking to us about how things were back then and like how much people would be coming to pay and how many people would be in there, it was just really cool to think that, you know, we were paying money to go and see the same show now as people were going to pay for it hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and that was very present in my mind when we were watching the show. So we went to see A Comedy of Errors, which was just absolutely spectacular. The actors were so funny, and I can't believe how funny it was. Me and Simon were absolutely killing ourselves. It was brilliant. A really good laugh. The music was brilliant, the acting was brilliant, costumes were sensational, and we had absolutely amazing seats. We were sitting up on the tap dancer centre, perfect view of the stage and everything that was happening. It was excellent. The sun was beating down. I'm a wee bit sunburned for sitting so close to the sun. It was excellent. And we got a wee programme, and Simon also got me this gorgeous edition of The Comedy of Errors, and these are being printed by the Globe in collaboration with the British Library, and they are printing them as they are performing them, and this is essentially photocopies of the first folio that they put together with Shakespeare's original works. So it's really cool to be owning a wee piece of history, and it's actually really lovely as well. I'll pop some footage in and show you the inside, but I will catch up with you later after we've had dinner and our comedy show on the Thames. I totally forgot to say that Simon also got me this really adorable wee snow globe, and it is a globe. Snow globe. It's so adorable, I love it. So we are just back for the comedy show. It was absolutely brilliant. We went for dinner on a boat on the Thames that also has a comedy club built in, which was really, really cool, and we got to see some brilliant comedians, and Simon had let them know that obviously we were doing for my birthday, and so they gave me a wee birthday card and some free Prosecco, as you would have seen for the pictures, and they all signed it, which was really, really lovely, and it was a really great night. We really like going and just seeing some different comics, and you know, you maybe get one that you didn't enjoy quite as much, but you always get a couple of new names that are added to an ever-growing list of comics that we want to go see. But it was an absolutely fantastic night. I'm going to keep this really brief though, because we are flagging. We are absolutely knackered for days and days and days of walking and activities, but we'll catch up with you guys in the morning. So it is Sunday, and today we are off to the Natural History Museum, which is going to be really, really cool. I've always wanted to go, and I've never had a chance to go anytime I've been in London, so we're going to spend the morning there, which is going to be really awesome. And we've got a special showing to go and see the dinosaur that they've got on display at the moment, because Dippy is away on his holidays, so I'm so excited for that. And then we're going to the Charles Dickens Museum this afternoon, which is obviously a me thing. Simon isn't particularly fussed on Dickens, but I absolutely love him. It's something that me and my Granda Eddie both really, really enjoyed. My Granda Eddie gave me one of the beautiful special editions Dickens, the leather bound ones that I have at the moment, so I'm really excited to go to that. I think it'll be really cool and sort of see where he lived and worked and wrote his stories, and hopefully find out a wee bit more about him, so that'll be really exciting. And then later on this evening, we are meeting our friend Andrew, and we are having dinner with him. He lives in London, so we only get to see him a couple of times a year, usually if he's coming back up to Scotland to visit his parents. And we're going out for an amazing looking roast dinner. Simon's booked a wee restaurant, and there's a log fire. Dogs are allowed. There are bookcases. Like, it just seems like it's going to be my dream, and it's a roast. can't get any better. And then later on this evening we are doing a Jack the Ripper walking tour, which I'm very excited about as well, because you know I love a wee bit of true crime, so I think that's going to be really cool. And I'm really into Jack the Ripper. I know like that seems like a weird thing to say, but I really do have favourite murderers and Jack the Ripper's definitely up there. It's like Ed Gein then Jack the Ripper, to be honest, but we can't do a walking tour of Ed Gein's gaff. And then this morning Simon got me another birthday adjacent present, because we are going to the Natural History Museum and we're going to be doing sciencey stuff. He got me a beautiful Folio Society edition of the Brief History of Time, and it is stunning. I'll open it up and I'll show you some of the pictures of the inside as well, because it is so gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So we will take you on our travels today and show you wee bits and bobs of what we got up to. Hello, so we have nipped back to the hotel room. We weren't originally planning to. We were going to be out all day today, but typical us, we found a bookshop, we went in, we bought books. So we had to come back to drop them off at the hotel room before we go to meet our friend Andrew for dinner. We did the Natural History Museum this morning, which was really, really cool. And like I say, Simon managed to get us tickets to go and see the new display with the dinosaurs, which was absolutely excellent, and you will see all the footage in there. He also got me a wee souvenir guide, which was awesome. We did all of the red zone, green zone and bits of the blue zone, but we didn't get to finish the blue zone and do the orange zone, but we managed to spend a good few hours there and it was absolutely fantastic. Dream come true to be there. I've always wanted to go and I'm so glad that we managed to. And then, on the way to the Natural History Museum, we found this wee independent bookshop. I'll pop in footage so you can see that. And we ended up buying some books. So, Simon bought me some more books for my birthday, as if he hasn't already bought me enough, and took me on this entire trip. But he got me Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This series gets so much hype, and it's one that, to be honest, I've swithered about a lot, but I think it could be really interesting. I think it's like a contemporary romance that I could actually really enjoy, and me and Ange have swithered about putting this into the Fiction Addiction book club pick, so now that I have it, maybe we'll see that coming up a wee bit. And then he got me All the Fun of the Fair by Caroline Hulse. I have never heard of this book. He just picked it up because he thought it looked like a me book, and it actually sounds really brilliant. So Fiona Larson is our main character, and there's a fair that comes to her town every year, and she has never been. She lies and says that she has been though, because everybody else has went, but years ago her sister was actually killed at the fair, and so I think it's going to be a bit of a character piece about grief and coming to terms with what happened to her sister, and maybe her facing managing to go to the fair, so I'm really excited to pick up this one. And then he got me This Is How You Lose the Time War, and this is by Amalie El-Motar and Max Gladstone. This has been getting so much love, and it's been on my wish list pretty much since it came out, to be honest. It's like a contemporary sci-fi, which sounds brilliant and would maybe help me tackle my sci-fi anxiety a wee bit and help me get into a wee bit more. So this is about a war, and we have two people on opposing sides of the war who start a correspondence that leads to a romance, and it's really just about their relationship on being either side of this battle, set in space, I guess. And then he got me Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. I love Sayaka Murata. I've read her other two books and reviewed them on the channel really favourably, really enjoyed them, and I've been waiting to get Life Ceremony for quite a wee while. This has been on my wish list as well since it came out, and I know that most people who are in my wee bookie circle have already read this, and I am very late to the party as usual, but I'm so excited to pick this one up. I reckon I will probably pick this up soon. And then we went across to the Charles Dickens Museum, which was absolutely excellent. It was really fun, and it was really cool to see some different artefacts for his life and find out a wee bit more about him and see his actual house, which is pretty awesome. And they've also got like a lovely wee shop and a lovely wee cafe in there as well. And so Simon purchased me yet another book. He got me the limited edition run that they sell there of A Christmas Carol. It's my favourite Dickens book, and this is like as close to the original as possible that they publish and sell in that shop, so that's really awesome and just a lovely wee memento to have as well from our trip. And then we couldn't no have a cuppa in Charles Dickens' house, so we sat and we had a wee cuppa in the cafe looking out into Charles Dickens' garden, which was absolutely mind-blowing. It was really cool as well because when we were on the tour, I'll insert all my footage so you'll see that, but we also got to see the room where he had written some of his novels and his wee writing room in the house as well, and we got to see like his wife's wedding ring, engagement ring, and just like loads of their original furniture, and a lot of it was obviously guesstimated as to how the house would maybe have looked, but it was still really cool just to see that and be in that piece of history. So we'll catch up with you later on after we've had dinner and we've went on our Jack the Ripper tour. So in terms of reading updates, I actually managed to get some reading done between yesterday and this morning. Couldn't sleep because it's been absolutely roasting, so I've just been up for about 6 this morning having a wee read. So I'm like just over halfway through turning 30 now, and I'm actually enjoying it a wee bit more than I was in the last update. I'm still finding Matt to be quite an annoying protagonist, to be honest, and I feel a wee bit, to be honest, like it's maybe because he's back living with his mum and dad as well. He's reverted a wee bit like to his teenage self when he's around them, and it's when he's around them I tend to find him the most annoying. But he has started the big plan to get his old group of friends together now, and unfortunately he's found out that one of his friends had actually passed away and he didn't even know he had died, so he's in this weird position of like retrospectively grieving, and he's still in communications with his ex-girlfriend Elaine. He's sort of divulged now that he decided he didn't actually want to leave Elaine and he didn't want them to split up when he was at the airport, but because she didn't change her mind about their amicable split, he decided not to burden her with that and not to change her mind or say anything to her about it. Elaine has definitely been more upset since he's came back home, and in their emails, you know, talking about how she misses him. They still sign off love you, they still tell each other, you know, that they do love each other, it just didn't work out or whatever. As well as he has also started a friendship with his ex-girlfriend from high school, but she is in another relationship, and he's spending a wee bit more time with her, and like she hasn't been flirty in any way because she obviously has a boyfriend, but he's, because we get it from his perspective, like he's sort of reading into some situations a wee bit, and so sometimes she'll do things and he's like, like wonder if she fancies us type of thing, and like it never really goes anywhere further than that. But it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, because obviously the crux of this is that he feels like he needs to be at a certain point in his life in order to feel fulfilment because he's turning 30, and I actually think that it would be a lot better and a lot more interesting for his character development if he didn't have to have a relationship with either of these women. Like if he just went and did his own thing and decided that that's what was going to make him happy. I think that that would be a better outcome for him as a character than just to be in a relationship, because I feel like if he was to go back to Elaine, then he would maybe be settling and he's just with her because he doesn't want to be alone, because he didn't really realise that he didn't want to be with her until like they had already split up. And when they split up, like none of them were particularly fussed. And then I can't remember her name, is it Ginny? his ex-girlfriend for high school. They never really had a proper relationship, and they were sort of like on again, off again, and they would just like hook up when they had had a drink and stuff. And so again, like I feel like if you really cared about her, you would have pursued her, and you didn't. So I think it would be better off if he ends up on his own, but we'll see where we go for there. I've also listened to some more of Restore Me, which is the 4th book in the Shatter Me series, and I still am not too sure how I feel about this one, to be honest. I am not huge into it. I didn't have the physical book with me. I'm doing the audio book, and I'm only on about like maybe chapter 17, 18. And just like no lot has happened, to be honest. And this is the thing that I really struggle with the Shatter Me series, is fuck all happens for ages, and then everything happens all at once, and then we didn't get enough time to actually enjoy the plot that's happening, because we've only got a tiny wee bit of space left in the book to try and actually put plot in, but there's no enough character development to make up for all the time where fuck all is happening. And it's really frustrating, because I actually care about these characters, and I care about their story, and I'm really interested in this world. It's like part dystopian, part X-Men, like right up my street, and I really fucking care, and I feel like Terry Maffey just isn't giving me what I need as a fan, and it's so annoying. If somebody just wants to like go through the Shatter Me series and pluck out all the chapters where actual fucking plot happens and give me them in one big bind up, like, sold, cool, I'll buy that. Because there's just so much time where it's just like Juliet and Kenji like goofing about or whatever. And like that's fun, and obviously like being a bit of a goofball is definitely in Kenji's character. Like, and I don't hate it, but at the same time, she's just taking all the fucking resistance. And fuck all has happened. Like, she's the Heejin in charge now, and she's done fuck all bar fuck about with her pal, and fuck her boyfriend. Like, what is going on? Also, why are we on book 4, and like, it's decided to take a smutty shift? Like, this started off as very YA, like Juliet being nervous to like hold hands, and I know that was partly because of her power, but like now all of a sudden we're just like boom, full on with Warner, like, and I love Warner. He's like a wee cutie, and I just want to be his mum. So I'm a wee bit like, do I really want to read about you as pumping, to be honest. So I don't know how I'm feeling about that one. I am not hugely enjoying it so far, but I'm going to give it another maybe, I don't know, hour of the audiobook, and then if I am not enjoying it by then, I'm just going to DNF and decide not to finish the series, which is really frustrating, because I care enough that I know if I DNF the series, I am going to need to read like a brief synopsis of what happens, because I do genuinely care about some of the characters. I care about Kenji, and I care about Warner. Do I give a fuck about Adam or Juliet? They could die for all I care. But I'd really want to find out what happened to Warner and Kenji. It's also started to do this really annoying thing now as well, where like they're almost trying to add in like a bit of a mystery element. So Warner knows something about Juliet's parents, and Castle, he has told Warner, and he's sort of hinted to Kenji to tell Juliet to ask Warner what the script is, like, as opposed to just fucking communicating like adults. And I cannot be arsed with that. Miscommunication is one of the worst tropes in a book, to be honest, and it's lazy writing. It's because you cannot be arsed to come up with a plot, so you just make your characters no talk to each other, so that plot happens as a result of that, and then it's all just magically resolved when they actually use their fucking words. So I probably no loving it. So we are back for your Jack the Ripper walking tour and dinner. I say we, Simon is here. Say hi.
Yo!
We are vlogging for bed because I'm absolutely knackered now. Today has been a very, very walky day on top of a very, very walky week, and our feet are killing us. So dinner was amazing, absolutely fantastic. Best roast dinner that I've ever had in my entire life. The Yorkies were like unparalleled, totally unreal. Loved it. And it was really nice catching up with our friend in London as well, because he normally comes to visit us in Scotland, so that was really cool. And then the Jack the Ripper walking tour was actually brilliant. so informative, really engaging. Our tour guide Angie was just hysterical, and you could tell that she was just so passionate and geeky about the case, just as I am, and so I really enjoyed that. It was fantastic. The 2 hours flew by, and although I have very sore feet now, it didn't feel like that at the time because I was just really engaged in the tour. And you actually enjoyed it as well, didn't you?
Brilliant.
Yep, and Simon isn't as big a true crime buff as me. And then Simon also gave me another gift this evening that he is claiming is not a birthday present and is in fact a birthday adjacent item. And so he got me We Can Never Leave This Place by Eric LaRocca, which is the last Eric LaRocca that I need to complete my wee collection, everything that he has out at the minute. Can't wait to read this already. That's me got 2 Eric LaRoccas on my shelf now to pick up, but I think I'm probably going to pick up this one before the one that I got in the Abominable Book box, because this was out first, and this has went like viral recently on Twitter because apparently there's like all sort of horrific incesty cannibals in it, and I can't wait to read that. Great birthday present, thank you.
Very romantic.
I will catch up with you guys tomorrow when it is my actual birthday to see what Simon has planned for me. I'm very excited. At the minute, we've got snacks, we've got crisps and milkshake and chocolate, and we're going to lie in bed and read our books and stay up till midnight to see you at the end of my 20s. R.I.P. Good morning. So it is the day of my actual birthday, and Simon has an absolutely belter of a day planned. So this morning we're up and we're out early, and we're going for a VIP tour of the Houses of Parliament. Me and Simon are huge political geeks, so I am so buzzing about this. I have been to the Houses of Parliament before, but I was like 14 maybe, and it was just like the bog standard tour. So this is going to be amazing. I'm so excited for it. And then we are going to go to Belgravia Books and spend the voucher that Simon got me Saturday, because we just suddenly had a chance to fit that into the schedule yet. And then we have afternoon tea, apparently one of the most Instagrammable spots in London, so no doubt you'll see some pictures. And then we have the afternoon to just go some more book shopping. We're going to go out to Colin and Clark, which is where they film Black Books, because we didn't get a chance to get that done the other day because the chocolate tour lasted as long. And we're going to go to the British Library because I really want to go and see that, just to say that I have done. And then we have dinner at the Ivy before we go to see Hamilton this evening, which I am so buzzing about. I can't believe that Simon has managed to keep that a secret, because I've literally spoken about Hamilton so many times. We were literally talking when I arrived and I knew we were going to see Wicked, and I was like, oh, Wicked will be the last show I see in my 20s, wonder what my first one in my 30s is going to be. And we were talking about it, and I was like, I want it to either be Hamilton, Moulin Rouge or Les Mis, but probably Hamilton. And he managed to keep a straight fucking face that he had booked tickets. I was like, how have you managed? I don't know what or how much I will be able to film today, but I'll take you along with us anyway. So I've got some reading updates. I finished Turning 30 last night. Me and Simon sat
No,
up.
it's still turning 30 today.
We sat up last night past midnight so that he could give me my pack for what I was doing today, last night. So I was very excited and was asking about a bajillion questions. So I managed to finish this, and I actually really enjoyed it in the end. I think that the plot was definitely secondary and the characters were the focus, which is obviously my usual preference, and I did enjoy that. And while I didn't fully warm to Matt, and I still thought at times he was a bit of a stroppy teenage male protagonist who was actually in his 30s, so it was quite annoying. I enjoyed the plot and I enjoyed these characters and I enjoyed their complex relationships, and I don't feel like there was any good guys, bad guys in this. I feel like all your main cohort were quite morally grey and they had all made mistakes and maybe hadn't handled things in the right way, but I still really enjoyed them and their connections and relationships to each other. And I actually got the ending that I wanted, although I really didn't think that I was, because like 3/4 of the way through the book, Ginny and Matt get together and I was like, oh god, like it's going to try to force like a pure happy ending, and I wasn't really up for that. And they do get together, but then they both sort of come to the realisation that they are only getting together for the sake of getting together because they don't have anybody else, and it's not really why they want to start a relationship with each other or take a risk on ruining their friendship. So really glad I got the ending that I wanted, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed this book. In the end I rated it a 5-star because it was such a quick, enjoyable read. The characters were really great and I enjoyed the writing. So this morning we had our tour of Parliament, and you would have saw some clips of that, and that was amazing. Me and Simon are some of the biggest politic geeks ever, like religiously watch Question Time, talk about politics probably on a daily basis, and so it was really cool to be able to share that together. We got to go into the House of Commons and the House of Lords, although we couldn't film in either of those locations. They're pretty set on that. You can't film, can't sit in the seats, none of that jazz, but it was still really cool to be in the building where like basically your whole country runs. I had said to Simon earlier, it was like visiting head office, because that's just where absolutely everything is. But it was brilliant, and the tour guide was really good as well, really informative, very funny, and I think that politics can sometimes be quite dry to people who aren't really into it, so it was good to have a tour guide who was having a wee bit of a joke and a laugh about stuff as well. And it was also really cool, we got to see this art display, and it's the clip with the big circles that was in my vlog. And when we went in, it was all quite lit up, and then when we came out there was only one of the circles that were lit up, and he says that that was quite a recent art display that was put in, and it's actually to commemorate women being able to get the vote, and all of the circles are supposed to be like scrolls of paper to, you know, suggest all of the legislation that had to pass in order for women to get the vote. And it's called the changing of the tides because obviously women getting the vote was such a huge change to the constitution and such a huge change to society and the political landscape, so it changes in accordance to how high or low the tide is. So when we went in, the tide was quite high, and then when we came out the tide was quite low, and I just thought that was lovely and just something really unique and original. And the tour guide was telling us a lot about the suffragettes, and there's a bit in one of the halls in Parliament that's like lined with statues down either side, and the suffragettes actually came into Parliament and chained themselves to those statues in protest, and one of the statues has actually been damaged for where the suffragette chained herself and they cut her off with wire cutters basically, and they've damaged the statue, and the statue's just been left damaged. It's sort of like a wee monument to what that woman stood for, which I thought was brilliant and really powerful. I think that it's just a wee reminder that sometimes politics can be good for change, and things have been pretty fucking bleak recently, so it was really nice to just get that and feel that like actually, you know, people can make change. And so I thought that was really good, and probably a really good way to like kick off my 30s, to be honest. Reassurance that the entire world isn't just shite, you know, can't get better than that. And then we went to Belgravia Books, which is our favourite wee independent bookshop. We found it when we were down for Simon's 30th actually, and it was not too far away from the hotel that we were staying in then, and we got each other some books for there because we're incapable of no buying each other books. And so Simon had got me some vouchers for my birthday, and with that I purchased The Swimmers by Chloe Lane and Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and I just read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I had said to Simon before we came, like, oh, I really loved it, and it's a series I'll definitely continue, but I didn't feel like I would rush out to pick up the next one. But then when I saw this on the shelf, I actually squealed and grabbed it right away, so apparently I was more excited to continue that series than I knew. And then, because Simon, he also bought me some additional books. So he bought me The Life of Elves by Muriel Barbary, and this is actually a signed edition. Very cool. This has been on my wish list for a wee while. It sounds like it's going to be like literary fiction but fantasy, and I've been loving all the literary fiction horror crossovers, so it'll be really cool to see how this goes. And then he also got me Neon Roses by Rachel Dawson, and this is a book that's set in the 80s, and it's about how the LGBT community and the minors all stuck together during the miners' strike, which I think sounds amazing. And like, Ange, you need to buy this book because it's definitely a fiction addiction book club pick for us. And then he also gave me another birthday adjacent item today, although you would need to class it as a present because it's on my birthday, surely.
It's adjacent to the activity.
So he got me an Ember mug, which I'm absolutely buzzing about, because he has one, he's got the black version, I wanted the grey version so it would match the house, because I'm that sad. But we are massive tea jennies. I like tea, I like coffee, and Simon's got his mug that keeps it hot the entire time, and I have like a wee coaster on my desk for when I'm editing and working and stuff, and it just doesn't really do it justice. So he bought me my Ember mug and I'm absolutely buzzing, and he presented me this afternoon because we went out and we had an amazing afternoon tea. So we went to a really swanky place and it was absolutely stunning. Oh, the cakes were to die for, the sandwiches were delicious, and we had unlimited bottomless tea. We didn't manage to eat it all, so we've got leftovers to bring it over, but we went to a place called Peggy Portions, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. So we are just in from all of our late afternoon and evening activities. So we went to Colin and Clark this afternoon, and Simon got me a beautiful edition of Walt Whitman, and this is a study of his life and some of his work and a selection of his work as well. Walt Whitman's quite special to me and Simon because the first sort of a show we really got in together as a couple was Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad Walt Whitman is referenced quite a bit, and so therefore we had Walt Whitman in some of our wedding vows and Simon's wedding speech, and so I'm absolutely thrilled to have this gorgeous edition. And this run it did was a limited run, and there are only 750 of these ever for sale, and now I have one and I'm absolutely buzzing, and it is stunning, and it's got like really old fashioned deckled edges, and I normally do not like a deckled edge, but apparently I don't mind it if it is an old fashioned deckled edge. And then because we were in the area where the British Library is, we decided we were going to pop in, but we didn't have too much time to spend there because we weren't planning to go really. It was just an additional adventure because it was sort of in the area. So we went in and we had a wee look around the bookshop in there and the gift shop in there, and Simon picked me a book from there as well. So this is Arthur and Teddy Are Coming Out by Ryan Love, and I'm really excited to read this. It's about a granda and he decides to come out, and his grandson is also struggling with sexuality and coming to the realisation he's gay, and so the two of them are like coming out together. Sounds so cute and I can't wait for it. And then this evening we went for dinner at the Ivy, which was so amazing. And we had that big afternoon tea this afternoon, so I was like, I'm not really hungry, I don't think I'm going to have a big dinner. And then I ate a 3-course dinner. But it was so delicious. Some of the best food I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely brilliant. And Simon gifted me my last birthday adjacent item, which is this gorgeous wee frightened rabbit anchor necklace, which I have been looking at for ages and ages. So you all know I'm a huge Frightened Rabbit fan, love Scott Hutchison, talk about him constantly on the channel all the time, would recommend anybody to listen to Frightened Rabbit music anytime anybody will ever let me talk to them about music. And when Scott took his own life, his family started a charity called Tiny Changes based on one of his songs, and Tiny Changes did a limited run of the double crosses that Frightened Rabbit were known for. Scott did all the artwork and all the drawings and stuff for their albums, and has done different drawings and that in books that they have since released in limited runs for the charity. And I missed out on the original necklaces and I was very gutted about it, but there's an American company who is working in collaboration with Tiny Changes. These are their details here, and so they have started a run of the double crosses, the triple crosses, and the wee anchors as well, and all the proceeds go to Tiny Changes. So Simon ordered me this for my birthday, which I'm so excited about. I just love Frightened Rabbit, and I just think Tiny Changes are doing amazing work, and I really like to support them. So not only has he got me a beautiful gift, but he's also supported one of the charities that is really close to my heart as well, and it will just be nice to like have a wee bit of that with me. So really pleased about that. And then we went to see Hamilton, as if I wasn't spoiled enough. I have literally been going on about Hamilton since it came out, because I really wanted to see it. I really love Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think that the dude is an absolute genius and would check out pretty much anything that he did at this point. And so I have really wanted to see this for a long time. I know that they released like a film version of the stage show, and I didn't watch it when that was released on Disney Plus, because I just wanted to see the stage show at some point. And so Simon booked this for me for the last show in my 30s, which I am, the last show in my 30s, the first show in my 30s, which I was buzzing about. And then he cheekily snuck away at the interval and he got me the book, because we can't even go to the theatre without purchasing a book. But that is the end of my birthday vlog. I've had an absolutely amazing time. I've been so incredibly lucky to have done as much as we've done, and I've been so incredibly lucky to have been spoiled as much as I have been spoiled. It has been the best birthday ever, and Simon's definitely softened the blow in me turning 30. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying everything that you're reading at the moment. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!